You know it's awesome when life sucks and shit hits the fan, nothing's going your way. You know who always says that? I don't. You probably don't. A little bit of sarcasm there because sometimes life can really be difficult and we really don't know how to claw out of it sometimes. And I want you to be reminded about how strong you are and why this video might be something that we all need to hear. Because those hard times can be what you actually need to move into your greater purpose in your life. And if you don't believe me, stick around because I'm going to share a little bit about how that was true for me when I thought that there was no other option. What's up, YouTube family? David Medawar here, and we're going to talk about how the harder times of your life can actually be a gift because it can finally move you into that greater calling that you weren't ready to actually move into until you had no other choice. So for me personally, several years ago, I had the hardest year of my life, and there were a lot of aspects of my life that looked good on paper in my peer group. You know, I had an awesome job, I finished college, had a good income, had a good friend group. You know, things from a bird's eye view looked good, but there were so many other things that I was struggling with, and a lot of it had to do with mediocrity. I didn't know that there was a greater calling for me in my life. There were times where I got complacent. I didn't really have the direction I wanted. And when it came to decision making, I really struggled. And at the same time, when I was in the midst of all of it, I thought that there was no other way of living life the way I was, and it wasn't going to be better. Until I realized now, and in the last couple of years, that hardest time of my life was also the biggest gift that I could ever be given by God. Because sometimes what happens is you have this itching feeling. Maybe you're feeling anxious all the time. You're feeling stuck. And you just know that something inside of you is burning, and you can just feel that something needs to really change, but you're afraid to do it. Maybe you know your relationship should end, and you're afraid to leave that partner until they finally make that decision for you. Or that job that you really hate, you get fired, and you think to yourself, well, on one hand, it's a relief, but on another hand, I don't have a job now. But hardship like this, especially when it's out of our control, can really be the best thing for us, because in the moment of it, we're going to really struggle, and we're going to say to ourselves that, hey, this really hurts in the balls, right? So it's not about saying to yourself that, oh, I see every hardship as a gift and I'm not going to feel the pain of it. What I mean is that you get to a point in life where those hard times translate into a new, greater good, where now you're looking for a new job and it happens to be the dream job you've always wanted. Or when that breakup happened, now you're actually putting the work into yourself and you're finding a relationship that's even more healthy. So hard times in itself can actually be redirection, because if it's something where you weren't willing to make that decision for yourself and you felt stuck, but at the same time you knew that something needed to happen for you to change, but you just couldn't find the courage to do it, or the energy or the motivation, those external factors that we don't control, that swift kick in the ass, that can be a really good way for you to just get moving and to find out what makes you happy, find out how to learn from that past experience. Because there's always going to be a silver lining. When you have a really hard time in your life, you can always look back on it and say, you know what? A part of that was really shitty, but another part of it gave me this valuable lesson I'll never forget. Maybe it's to treat my next partner better. Maybe it's to actually go back to school and find a different career that I've really wanted to do, but I was afraid of change. Because sometimes the fear of change itself can hold us back. Our subconscious is designed in a way to keep us stuck and to keep us in a familiar territory, because for our subconscious, familiarity means survivability. So when you try and disrupt that, even if it's for a positive change, say you want to start a new gym membership or you want to change your diet, you'll notice you'll get this internal resistance, because even if it's a good thing and logically you know that you've been putting this off, deep down below, that resistance is saying, hey, you're breaking my programming, you're breaking that norm that you're used to. You're trying to stretch your comfort zone. Keep that bubble closed, right? So guys, just fight through it. Go for that. Go for that job you've always wanted. Be willing to step up. Be willing to reevaluate your friend group. Be willing to learn a new skill, a new hobby. Be willing to step away, and if you feel like life is really hard, journal, meditate, take a solo trip, learn to become your best friend, whatever it might be. And I hope this message has been pretty helpful for you guys. And if you have any other thoughts on this, feel free to drop a comment below, and I'll see you later. Peace.